Hi guys, welcome back to Jen's Vanity. Today what we're going to talk about, or what the video is going to be about, is my everyday makeup drawer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have in the drawer, what I'm taking out, what I'm keeping, what I'm bringing in. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, I got this all clean. I washed out these two trays. I'm going to go ahead and put back the stuff that I know I'm going to keep. So I'm going to start off with primers. I'm definitely just going to keep both these primers. I've got the Bare Minerals Prime Time. I love this, and it really works well with the Bare Minerals Original Foundation, powder foundation, when I use that. And then I'm going to use up this Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer, which is their smoothing primer. I am going to keep both of those in there. I have two sample things from Sephora. I am just going to pop those guys back in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put in my brow products. I have the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit in dark. Got the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, the Essence Make Me Brow, and then the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. So those are all the brow products. I am going to keep them in there. Then as far as powders, even though I haven't really been using my NARS Crystal Powder, this is just where I store it, so it's going to go back in there. I am going to keep in the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I am going to try and use this one up. I have hit pan on it already, but it's just a really nice powder, and yeah, I'm going to try and use it up. So I'll put that guy back in there. As far as bronzers, I know I'm going to keep the Lorac Tantalizer. I am going to try and use this one up this year. It's just a little sample size, but it did have quite a bit of a dome on it, and it is starting to flatten itself out a little bit. So I feel like I've got to be getting, I don't know, there seems to still be quite a bit of product in there, but I do want to try and use that up, so I'm going to keep that in there. I really like this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This one's in Opal. It's just a little sample size guy, but I really like that. And I want to use it up, and I want to get the full size, so I'm going to keep this in there. As far as concealers, I had these three in there. I am going to keep the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. And I'm going to keep in the Rimmel London Match Perfection Concealer. But I'm going to take out this one from Neutrogena. I just don't find myself reaching for this stick concealer, so I am going to take that one out. Now I had in here some eye crayons. I think I'm going to keep, for sure, the two Maybelline Color Tattoo. I have it in Barely Beige, and I have it in Lilac Luster. I just like to have these in there just as an option if I feel like I need a little bit of a base for a shadow. I did have this e.l.f. Jumbo Eye Crayon in Turkish Coffee, excuse me. I do really like the color, and it goes on really smoothly. It's just a nice sort of metallic-y brown, but I noticed that my shadows can crease when I use this, so I am going to take this out for now. All these e.l.f. contour and translucent powders I'm just going to keep in here because that's where I store them. So we'll put those guys back. I know for sure I'm going to keep in this e.l.f. lip exfoliator, so I'll put that guy there. Okay, then as far as mascaras, I have this Lash Domination by Bare Minerals. I really like this one. It's got a very big rubberized wand on here, which typically I don't like, but this one isn't too bad, and it's not too pokey, and it gives me really big lashes. I also have this Lash Domination. It's the exact same formula, I do believe, but this brush is a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to take this one out just so that I can have still one of these when I'm done. Even though it has been opened, I'll use it next, so I'm going to take that one out. I do still have this Lancome Definicils. I'm going to leave this in here, seeing that it is open. Then I have the Benefit They're Real Tinted Primer and They're Real Mascara. Two little sample guys. I've really been loving this lately, and it really just gives me really long lashes, but not like super full lashes, so it just gives me that length. So I've been liking those. Then, because I don't really have a drugstore option, this one I know is open. I think I got it in a Vox box or something like that. I know maybe it was in a subscription box. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm going to put in the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. I used to love this back in the day, and it's just their Blackest Black, I believe. Yeah, Blackest Black. And it has the good old-fashioned bristle wand. So I'm going to put that one in there for my drugstore option. I did have a sample of the Lash Domination. This is just really hard to use with this small of a wand on there, so I'm going to keep it in there, but I may just use the wand in here and then dip in to get it out. As far as eyeliners, I had in the back here these two that I got by from Lancome from Influencer. They're Drama Liquid Pencil in a purple and a black. I'm just going to go ahead and leave those in there. It's just a nice option to grab. Then I had a Cargo Swimmables brown pencil. I'm going to go ahead and keep that in there. Very boring. I did have the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I didn't really end up using this day to day. It's just too much work for me to use a liquid liner, so I am going to take this out for now. For blush, I ended up with 3 in here. I have the Instain blush in Pinstripe. It's been in my collection for a little while, or in my everyday makeup drawer for a little while. I still just really love it. I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. Then I had this e.l.f. blush in Rich Rose. I did bring this in just the last time, and I didn't use it quite as much as I thought I was going to because it kind of blended in with my bronzer. So if I'm going to continue to use that, I think I'm going to take this guy out for now. And then I had my Laura Geller blush, which I absolutely love. This one is in Berry Brulee, and it's just a little bit brighter than the Pinstripe blush. I am going to go ahead and keep this one in here because it is one of my favorite blushes. I am going to take this one out and I'll bring some new blushes in. Okay, so what I've decided to bring in for blush is, we know I'm already keeping this Laura Geller one. I'm going to bring in the MAC Warm Soul. I absolutely love this color. So I'm going to bring in MAC Warm Soul. Then I'm going to bring in a matte light pinky peach. This one is e.l.f. In Sweet Retreat. It's one of their pressed mineral blushes. I'm going to put that one in there. Then I'm going to bring in an oldie but a goodie, a Kat Von D blush in Bellissima. It's just the perfect peach coral color for the summer. So I'm going to bring that in, summer spring. This one is the L'Oreal Visible Lift. And again, it's just a nice peachy pink color. I guess that's what I wanted to go for this time around. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. As far as highlighters, I did have the MAC Soft and Gentle in here. It's been in the last 2-3 times, I think, so I'm going to take that out. I also had the Hard Candy in Tiki. I'm going to take that out. I also had the Essence So Glow. This one, unfortunately, even though it is a really pretty highlighter, I just cannot get it to work without disrupting my foundation yet, so I'm just going to take this out for now. Going back to bronzers, I had the L'Oreal Glam Bronze in there. Breaks my heart, but I'm going to take it out because I do really want to work really hard on this one, so I'm going to take this out. Then I had the MAC Taupe Shape. It is a blush, but I use it more as a contour. It does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, but otherwise it's a really natural finish. And yeah, you can't even see it on my hand, but on my face it does give just a slight shadow. So, but I'm going to take this one out as well. What I'm going to bring in is the Makeup Forever, I think it's their Pro Sculpting palette. This one is in 2-0, which I think is their lightest one, but it has a light shade, a contour shade, highlight shade, and blush. So I'm going to bring this guy in. Okay, so as far as highlighters, what I'm going to bring in is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. I did swatch that right here. It's that really nice bright gold one there. I'm going to bring that in. Then I'm going to bring in the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. This one is in Precious Petals. I know this was limited edition at one time, but I feel like they're more readily available now. But it's this nice peachy middle one here. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. Then I just recently got this one as a freebie sample with my Tarte order. This is their Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Highlighter in Stunner. And you can see it right there, but it's also this last swatched one, which is a little bit more on the taupey pearl side. So I thought that way I'd have a range. I'd have the taupe, the pearl, and the gold, and that should have me covered for any of my highlighting needs. But I'm also going to bring in the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips in Miami Strip. The reason I'm bringing this in, it is a little bit dark to be a highlighter for me, but I can use it more of like a way to glow up my bronzer. As you can see right there, it's pretty dark for me. So, but I will leave it in here to kind of work in conjunction with my bronzer. All right, for foundations, you didn't see them in there, but I have some that are on my makeup desk for everyday use. I know this is a little bit high maintenance, but I've been mixing foundations because some of them are just not the right colors, and I don't, I like kind of blending them, or I don't like them on their own as much. So I have the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I like to mix that with my Almay. The reason being is both of these colors are slightly off. Like this one is really yellow, and this one is just like really, it's supposed to be a yellow, I believe, or a warm tone as well. It's Y235, but as you can see next to each other, this one is like super yellow, and this one is a little bit more on the tan side, but I've been mixing those. Then I also have the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer and the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. This one I have in Alabaster 2. This one I have in Nude 40. This one works well on its own. I love the formula of this. I did do a review on it. I will link it for you guys, but I like this on its own. This, however, it is a full coverage foundation, which I guess I just don't care for full coverage foundations quite as much. I feel like this is pretty heavy, so I like to mix the two. Unfortunately, the color is still a little bit off, but I prefer the formulas when they are mixed. But these I'm going to store on my desk. I did also have this little sample of the Benefit What's Up. I do want to try and use this before it goes bad, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I got this Laura Mercier Rose Gold Caviar Stick Eye Color. It's just a little bit on the rose gold side like it says, but it's pretty straightforward, and it does dry down, so it feels a little bit tacky at first, but then it dries down. So as far as eyeshadows, I did have two ColourPop ones in here. This one is in Drift and Partridge. Drift is more of a cranberry color. Partridge is like a dual chrome, a dual chrome, I would say. I still really like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there. This one I'm going to take out. And as far as other single eyeshadows that I had in here, I had the e.l.f. Smudge Pot in Brownie Points. I am going to go ahead and take this guy out. I loved topping the Brownie Points though with this color, which was the Coastal Scents eyeshadow in Coral Refined. This is a really pretty reflective pinky peach color, but I'm going to take that out. Then I had the Infallible eyeshadow in Perpetual Purple. I didn't really use this very much, but it is really pretty, but I'm going to go ahead and take that out as well. I did have one cream gel eyeliner here from e.l.f. in Metallic Olive. I did actually get some use out of it, so I'm going to take this one out as well. Okay, for eyeshadows, I decided to bring in another ColourPop shadow. This one is Doe a Deer. It's this color right here. It doesn't really have any shimmer to it, a little tiny bit, but these I've gotten a while ago and they're starting to dry out on me, so I do want to try and incorporate more of them in the looks that I do. Then I'm also bringing this Coastal Scents Mineral Eyeshadow in Absinthe? Absinthe? I don't know. But it's this green one here. I love green. Love green. So this color is just gorgeous. And I actually like the combo of the three that I picked. And I'm also bringing in an e.l.f. eyeshadow. This is their mineralized eyeshadow in Bronzed. You can see it right there at the end. It almost matches my skin tone, but it does have a little bit of a bronzed nickel sort of penny look to it. I think it will tie well with the other colors that I picked. Then I am just bringing in the e.l.f. Cream Gel Liner in Black. I do want to use this up some before I have to toss it, and it does already have a pretty big divot, but want to use it some more, so we'll bring that guy in. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is eyeshadow palettes. In the last update, I did have this Too Faced Smoky Eyes palette in there, and I did get some good use out of it. I used just about every shadow in here. I didn't use too much of this sort of deep navy-ish, brownish gray color called Smolder, but every other color in here I actually did use. I really like this one in Cloves, but it is just like a coppery brown that you can get anything, you know, in sort of any other palette. This is super beautiful all over the lid. I use that quite a bit. This one in a Flash and White Lie, Firefly, these are all amazing colors. So this palette was really great. I did use it in conjunction with the Tarte palette, and I really enjoyed it. I am going to swap out using a different neutral matte palette for this next go around. I am going to bring in my Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral palette. This palette is sort of hit or miss. It is a good drugstore option, but some of the shadows are really soft and easy to pick up, and some of them are really hard pressed. Like, I really like this color, but it is very difficult to get out of the pan, whereas like this color, you just swipe a little bit and it comes up, whereas this color, it's hard to get out of the pan. So it's hit or miss there, and like this one has like a little bit of like chunky type of action starting in there, so I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm going to go ahead and keep using it. It's a good drugstore option, like I said. I don't really use the black or this gray, but I use pretty much everything else, so I'm going to pull that in. Then I'm going to pull in this new palette that I got from Tarte. I did just pick this up on a little haul that I did on their website. I believe this was a holiday palette. I'm not even sure what it's called, but I got it, and I want to go ahead and play with it. And it's got, I think it's kind of grouped in like quads within like a fifth color on the side. And I usually really like the quality of Tarte eyeshadows, so I thought I would go ahead and pick it up. It was in their sale section, and I have a professional like discount with them because I hold a license, so it made it pretty affordable, and I can't wait to get my hands in there and play around with it. So those are the two palettes that I'm going to go ahead and use this go around. I'm also going to bring this in. I had it in there the last time, but I hadn't used it. I did pick it up in a recent drugstore haul, but I figure as hopefully we will get into spring soon, I'll be able to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that guy in there. Let's go ahead and see what I got for lipsticks. I am going to keep this lip balm in here. And I think I'm going to keep in this Pink Quartz from Maybelline. I really like this color. It's an everyday sort of cool tone pink with a little bit of gold shimmer in there. I've been liking it. I did have a couple of other colors in here. This one is from Rimmel. It's First Class Nude. It's just a basic nude color, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I noticed if my lips are dry, this is not the most flattering, even though it is a moisturizing lipstick. It tends to settle in there if they're not already moisturized. Then this one in Going Greige, I am going to take this one out. It's not really going to be for spring anymore, so we'll take that out. Then I have a little sample from Sephora. It's their Marc Jacobs in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And I didn't use that at all. I know I said the last time it was going to be iffy if I'd use it, and I didn't. But I'm going to go ahead and take that one out. So let's see what other lipsticks I have. Okay, so I figured out some lip stuff. I'm going to bring in this Rimmel Show Off Lip Lacquer. This one, I don't know the color of it. I will try and find it. The colors were usually on a little label that I peeled off. But it's like a, kind of like a gloss. I guess it is just like a lacquer. As you can see, it does have a little bit of shine there. And it's a neutral with a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's not chunky at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one in there. I'm also going to bring in this Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in Vintage. It's this one here. Oop, you can't see it. It is this second one here, and I absolutely love this. And then I'm going to bring in this Maybelline Color Sensational, which these are my favorite lipsticks in 135 Make Me Pink. It's not my go-to kind of color, but I have it, so I'm going to try and use it. It is like a dusty pink, borderline a little bit of purple in there. So I'm going to put that one in here. Then I have this NYX Butter Lipstick in Little Susie. It's the BLS12. I think I've had this in an everyday makeup drawer a few times and I've never used it, but I really want to use it in a spring look, maybe with that blue liner. I think it would be really pretty. So I am going to bring it in. And then I also have my favorite spring color, which is Melon Pop by Clinique, and that is right here on the end. So that is going to round everything up. Thanks so much, guys. We've made it to the end of the Everyday Makeup Drawer video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and that really helps me out, lets me know that you're enjoying the videos, and I should continue to make them. Please subscribe before you leave if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!